for Supercars as our finals commence on the Gold Coast. And it's not a bad jump for Ryan Wood. It looked like it had a little bobble, but it's tractioned in nicely here. He's put power to the road, grabbed gears, and off he goes into the first chicane. Nice solid start for the Kiwi. He's got a couple of car lengths. Feeney drops in behind him, and here's where all the congestion unpacks and unfolds. Covers down the inside, does Wood. He's under threat here from Feeney, and in fact, I reckon Payne might have got up underneath Feeney. That'll be close.
Yeah, there's not much in it now. And the run down to the beach chicane's the one you're talking about. Two teammates here, Di Pasquale and Reynolds. Remember, Di Pasquale is in the finals, and Reynolds just let him pass, so that's a big move straight away.
Will Brown just sorting out that right away business that I just spoke about as Ryan Wood again covers into turn 11 as he's waiting for those tyres to come up to tempered pressure to give him the security to go back to the regular racing line. We've got Wood from Feeney, from Payne, from Mostert, from Golding, all line astern at the northern end of the racetrack.
It was a really nice start. All of the front guys got through there really well, and no one really got an advantage by going through the centre of that first chicane. Often we see some people grab 3 or 4 spots. I didn't see anybody make an unfair move there. That was good.
As we go back and have a look at the start, it looked like there was a bit of a bobble right at the jump for Wood, but then it cleaned up as he grabbed a gear and was able to position the car where he wanted to. It was a pretty good solid start by most of the front runners. They actually cleanly got down their single file, which is a bit unusual.
Yeah, they did, and see through the middle of that chicane, not many got a gain. It did look like Richie Stanaway may have got a little gain there. That was the only guy that I didn't pick up earlier. I just said a second ago that he's made 6 spots. He probably made 2 or 3 there at the first chicane. But this is on board now with Brock Feeney, and getting them stopped and getting through here cleanly is really difficult on the opening lap. Oh, that was a big slide. We didn't pick up on that, did we? So we didn't see that from the front, but that was a big slide and good gather up there by Ryan Wood.
Tell you what though, that was about as close as you get to just ending up in that tyre bundle on the outside. It kicked the inside rear, so here's the story. Unfortunately for Will Brown,
that was Kai Allen.
Has made contact with him in the left-hander at 11. Here's the view from another car further in behind, so looks like he's got him in the left rear corner down there, Kai, who's come to this weekend as a genuine rookie, having never raced anything at this racetrack.
So he does move in the braking area, Will. So I don't know whether he was up far enough at that point or Will closed down on him. But watch this. So watch the left-hand mirror on the side of the car smash up against the fence there. And that's when he had the real run at Feeney there. That's Payne. Watch this from behind. Bang! Ryan was able to get a little gap, and then the pressure from Payne come onto the back of Feeney, and he's responded with the fastest lap of the previous one. So he's got right back to the back of the truck assist Mustang. Ryan Wood now torturing to keep him behind. What was it, leaking fuel?
There was something.
It wasn't fuel, was it? But it was certainly something.
Yeah,
it was liquid.
Yeah, and he's reporting it on the radio. So there's something going on there with car 2. And all of a sudden, in a heartbeat, where there was a margin, there isn't. And there's something really happening here at the moment because Feeney's now threatening for the lead. There is an issue with car number 2. There was something that we saw from the rear of the car in the way of a fluid. He's gone back to second. Feeney now leads. He's under threat from Payne and Mostert. There's a story developing here with that car in position number 2.
I think it's oil. Because there's all this radio chat, and he's now lost 3
imposed a 5-second
spots.
time penalty to car 62 for exceeding track limits and gaining an advantage.
It looked like water to begin with, but the more that we hear, yes, that looks like water from the right rear there, doesn't it? But
copy in this lap.
Okay.
There's obviously more to this story. Little bump there on the main straight, and there's all the fluid coming from the right rear, and it must be oil because it's firing onto the tyre. Unless it's glycol, it could be glycol as part of the water.
He's in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Garth's lurking around there, so we'll try and get a bit of understanding as to what's going on here. But this is seriously bad news for Ryan Wood. Bad news for his quest to remain in the top 10 and ultimately the top 7 at the end of the weekend. They've sent him a giant pool there.
Pool of water.
Yeah, GT.
it was fuel, so they didn't see it initially. And then when he brought the revs up, it started pumping fuel out from the fuel cell, and you can see all over the ground here. So they're going to have to bring their car back. That's a danger.
Yeah, serious fire risk. Yeah, if it's pumping fuel around that brake.
Race control attention teams, mechanical black flag car 2, mechanical black flag car 2.
This is going to be an issue with this cladding. There's some cladding that's come off the debris fencing.
Safety car boards and flags, safety car boards and flags.
So safety car boards and flags, and I think this is for the cladding, the signage that's come adrift off the side of the debris fencing on the way into turn 1. The Queensland Gold Coast sign is affixed to the debris fencing, and one of the issues there is obviously now come adrift and it's down onto the racetrack.
Now, double stacking is going to be something that needs to be thought about here as well, and what the implications of that are, which I raised in the Hino Hub a little bit early on. So Feeney's well separated from Brown. Payne is probably going to impact Allen here. Like him.
And what's going to be fascinating, Neil, as it is, these 4 teams here, Grove, Monster Energy, Optus and Red Bull, these 8 cars are all in, look at this double stack, all in the final series. And they've all got 6-metre pit base. This is the tightest pit base in the whole pit lane.
And Waters potentially impacting Tom Randall here. That's awkward. Like, this is a big moment here for Mostert's getting held up big time. In goes Randall. So that's probably cost him. Oh, and now there's contact. So that would have cost Mostert 10 or 15 seconds. He's made contact with Payne. Payne's trying to thread his way back in front of Courtney. It's a schmozzle in the pit lane.
Complete chaos. So the car's parked. Originally it was Kai Allen parked to get in behind Payne, stopped Cam Waters originally getting out, and then as a consequence of Payne being able to get out, then the contact with Mostert go.
Yeah, absolutely right. So Payne was stopped next to the monster car. That's where they all agreed that they're going to stop. So Kai Allen was in the right spot, but Chaz Mostert wanted to get out. He ended up pushing Kai Allen out of the way. Then Matt Payne was slow out of his box. There was contact with Cam Waters and again with James Courtney as they left pit lane.
This is just a calamity when it's like this. The double stacking scenario here, when you've got one car looking to get back in, 2 other cars couldn't get out, and then finally the car that had a little issue runs into Mostert. This is Mostert now going bang, 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 and he's gone. So you watch him on the clutch here, he's going bang, 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 push forward, push forward, push forward. Then he's in the fast lane, then Payne comes out. So there's complete lunacy when all that unfolds in behind each of those bays.
Race control attention team, stewards have imposed a 15-second time penalty to car 19 for an unsafe release.
Oh, we've had a big shunt. Jackson Evans off the back of the beach chicane, and that's Cooper Murray there with him also. But there's Jackson Evans' car back there with wheels off that car. But Neil, was he getting around?
Car boards and flags, safety car scramble.
The response for the penalty must be more to do with the people that are actually in the lane that he almost got to, not just the car that he made contact with. Same as Will Brown.
Yeah. And so Jackson Evans, just as it's been on several occasions this year, is where the bomb drops.
Just a spectator.
Just a spectator.
Yep.
Here it is from the other angle. Watch Cooper. Gets massively crossed up. Now he can't steer it. He'll have steering damage. Bites both walls. And that's going to be an enormous job. Enormous job. And poor old Jackson Evans, just nowhere to go. He was the next in the queue. Huge air here, and it's that second kick on the inside rear wheel, and it's plucked the tyre off.
That's what it's done.
Plucked it. It's overloaded that because the pressures are down.
Yep.
After the safety car period.
It's plucked the wheel off on the other side too.
Yeah. And so that hasn't come back up. And that's actually been I've heard that conversation up and down the lane about just be careful when they do pressure down over the curbs, because you can do tyre damage. But I don't think anybody expected to see that level of impact. So right rear. Mostert having a look at Waters and simultaneously making sure that he covered off the possibility of Payne having an attack down there at turn 4. Now, Brock's gathered it all back up, but not before he had a little moment. So this is the contact that we think is the original trigger coming out of turn 4 with Aaron Cameron and Cooper Murray making contact, and that's unsettled that right rear Dunlop Super Soft tyre. Yep. It's gone into slow leak phase, and unfortunately it's bitten him a little bit later on.
Safety car boards and flags.
Safety car standby.
Our third safety car of the day for this
safety
reason.
Car scramble, leader is 88. Incident is tyre bundle demolished at turn 1.
Jackson Evans stepping out, top right of screen, unfortunately. The energy going through the cars there in that chicane is just crazy. And the violence, I mean, we step back in the commentary box as he goes down the inside now, Mostert, and gets it done on his mate Cam Waters. That gives him a little bit of fresh air to negotiate now, and he sets off after Feeney with 0.9 of a second. He did the fastest lap on the last lap. There's pace in this car at the moment, and now Cam's got his hands full with Payne.
Nice move.
Approaching the B chicane. For both of them, it's critical that they get through here and not waste 1/100th of a second. Both of them understand the pressure. They throw those supercars through there in heroic efforts to get up into the braking area 11, and he's done it. He plunges down the inside like he did to Waters, and that's a change for the lead. That was a handsome manoeuvre.
That was a really nice manoeuvre and well constructed. Well constructed with maximum commitment coming off turn 9 and turn 10.
Here's the story on screen, lower frame at the moment, about those that are on the bubble in terms of progression in this championship. The Elimination Final on Sunday night drops 3 drivers out. Mostert's gone berserk out there, and then it becomes 7 going into the Penrite-Sandown event coming up next as a semi-final.
I couldn't believe when you were explaining that then, the way he just attacked turn 9 again. Mostert is like Dukes of Hazzard through turn 9. The car just skis across the top of that curb and flies its way. So what he's got really, he's got it sorted so well that when he attacks turn 9, where it lands, watch this. Where it lands,
No
look at
way.
this, look at that.
That's off the scale.
And then where it lands, it's got hardly any turning to do. That's why it's so fast. Watch this. Watch what he does. Bang, bang, lands straight to the throttle. That is amazing.
I honestly don't know how the thing's
How do
going
they
to
survive?
survive. I really don't. Like, I don't know that you can actually get the calculator out and work out what the loads are when that thing bottoms out. As he starts to feed it gears, building up towards 240 kilometres an hour as they both prepare to launch over the beach chicane. And Mostert has got the front of that thing flying through the air out the other side, has a sniff up on the inside at 11, pokes it up on the inside, feeds it second gear, stops, turns and leads. Nice job.
Beautiful job. Now what Davey's got to do now is conserve a little bit of fuel, because we're hearing that they're struggling a little bit with 12 to go for David to make sure that he can get this car home for Team 18. Check this pass out. Dave had to come out of the throttle coming off turn 10. He was almost going to clip the fence there. So as he came out of the throttle, he had a little bit of momentum going, and with that momentum he was able to punch down the inside relatively easy.
So Will's in 7th, Nick's in 8th, Heimgartner in 9th, James Courtney. Will's just slightly out of frame. He's disappeared down the road, but it's on here as Percat covers. What about what's going on at the back? The big squeeze is on. Oh man, Payne was squeezed right up against the concrete wall there. And he had to make it as narrow as a mountain bike to get through there.
Well, exactly, but he did a brilliant job. So Will Davison was trying to force him up against the wall on the inside, but he was able to get down there. And that was really nice driving by all of them. I thought that was going to end up with a bucket of cars all sorted. Here we go, teammates. Teammates, was that Golding into the back of Stanaway? Or the other way around?
Other way around. I think that was
yeah.
Richie all locked up, and he was putting his autograph on the rear bumper of Golding's car.
Yep. It's so hard to pick those two cars, aren't they?
Look at this, look at this, look at this. It's on, it's a return of serve. You clobber me, and I'll do the same thing by return.
Car 26 for exceeding track limits.
Car number 26 is Kai Allen. Meantime, Matt Payne is getting centre punched out there at the moment, and there's guard damage. It's rubbing on the tyre. Bryce Fullwood's the shore entry mixed up in this in car 14 as well. It's a gigantic supercar cluster, and Percat pops out the other side somehow, but it's gone berserk down here in the braking area at turn 4. So it's Davison, Randall, Payne and Fullwood, and they're in nuclear war to the end.
They are completely
Good mate,
out
I
of
agree.
control.
Press on hard, press on hard.
Plenty of emotion being shown on the Gold Coast. Plenty of wild manoeuvres, plenty of air. This is for second position at the moment with Feeney with a pretty quick car.
20 exceeding track limits.
Wow. So that's David Reynolds also being warned about exceeding track limits, as now Feeney has a sniff at Kai Allen, turn 11, and he's got
to get him down
pace
here.
in hand, he's got grip in hand, and he'll use it wisely on the run towards turn 12. So that's done. Brings Feeney up onto the podium. I beg your pardon, up one spot on the podium into position number 2.
But when you look at the numbers, Neil, he did an 8.8. The next fastest time I can see is a 9.07 for Waters, so almost a 9.1. He's 0.3 faster than the next car. Feeney has done a 9.14. So at the pointy end of the field, he's had genuine pace.
They've made a rocket.
Yeah.
They've been able to trim a car that's really well adjusted, and he's driven it to perfection. And it's always a worry. Well, first of all, he had to negotiate all that pit lane congestion, but it's always a worry when you lose track position and then you've got to find your way back through, because there's 1,001 things that can go wrong.
Yep.
They didn't. He passed other cars. They're preparing for him down there in Pertec Victory Lane, and there's only a couple of corners to run now for Mozzie. Meantime, big pressure still between Allen and Waters in the battle for third, but the focus at the sharp end of town here at the moment, where there's 150 points waiting for Chaz Mostert. He's well and truly in the finals. He's in that final complex. He's 33 years of age. He plucks gears for the last time now as he makes his run down to the flag. He had a beer at the end of Bathurst that didn't turn out well. He'll drink champagne tonight on the Gold Coast.
Oh my God. Thank you, man. Oh, that's so good.
How good is that?
Second victory in 25. Beautiful job. For fans of Feeney and Allen, that resolved with Kai in third. Cam Waters didn't get there in fourth. Will Brown, big clawback from really being down the tail end of the field in fifth.
You win and you're in, Chaz Mostert.
And he did it nicely, didn't he? Have a look at that margin at the end of it. After 85 wild laps here, Mostert, Feeney, Allen. That's our podium this afternoon. They're in Pertec Victory Lane. We'll hear from them shortly. And then it's Waters, Brown, De Pasquale, Courtney, Heimgartner, Davison with a penalty. It'll shuffle that order slightly. And then further beyond. And there's implications around the championship. We'll get the abacus out, we'll get the calculators out, we'll spin our heads and propellers, we'll work all that out for you.